Okie dokie. This is going to be very different. Very different to anything I've ever done because I've literally never done a review of anything because I never think about it too much. But I was given a key to a game called Data Live Ren Dystopia. And turns out this is a game that had very peculiar guidelines as to what kind of coverage you can do. And when I tried to contact them and try to discuss it to see, like, did you mean to send it to me? I just do live streams. But they told me, go ahead. Or they told me nothing, sorry. And I had to work with the idea of, I guess I'll do a review. So that's what I'm doing, I guess. So, let's kind of take a crack at this quick. This is going to be very different to what I normally do, indeed. But hey, let's see what's going on. They might have been too busy. They also might have been too busy making the game, or I guess working the publishing for the game. Anywho, I guess I'll just pop in top left here. I'm also gonna keep my own music in the background. But yeah, let's talk about this. I have a whole thing of notes on the side. Let's do all that stuff. All right, so I requested this game for live streams, but the embargo literally states that I am not allowed to stream the game. I can't stream gameplay of the game. And I also can't do stuff or talk about stuff outside of like the first day in the game for the characters. Very strange. But yeah, again, like I mentioned, I tried to discuss it with them, but I had no point of contact. So I guess I'm doing this. And that's going to be my coverage. So I guess to clarify and specify a little bit more that I didn't note in here, I did about 2.5 hours of it. Skipping some stuff that didn't need to be done again here and there, just like speeding past some things to make sure I got to what I wanted to do. And I picked like, I don't even remember their names, unfortunately, but I chose 4 of the characters, and I made sure that none of them were the stupid lowly idiots to do like a check on to see what's going on with it. And that was kind of the vibe. So to intro this whole thing here, this is a rom-com harem show, basically. One I've actually seen, funny enough. It's fine. I'm not like a big fan of it or anything. It's whatever. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too... No, it is not. Absolutely not true. I literally have in the script it's not 18 plus. Which is referring to the game and the show. And probably the source material or whatever. I don't know. All right, so I've actually watched the show. Characters are spirits who have their powers lessened by kissing the main character and falling in love with them. Again, not pornography. I don't think there are any of those flying out. I'm pretty sure that's not this kind of game, or show, or source material. I was confused at first when this had been delivered to me because I didn't really follow the game for this at all. The timeline made no sense because this is all stuff, or the game is based off of stuff that I think happened 2 seasons ago in the anime, maybe? Like, it was a while ago. So everything that I have or had in my mind of like this point in time was a little strange, and some key turning points kind of weren't involved, which is a little interesting, but like, it doesn't end up taking away too much. It's not too crazy, but yeah, it did throw me off at first. I also would assume that this is non-canonical. Safe bet. The game originally came out in 2020 for PS4, and I believe it was Japanese only. My playthrough was with Japanese audio and English text, and the dialogue and thoughts conveyed by the main character in the game very different to what I remember the show being. So that was a little bit of a shock to see, I guess. But it's the difference between them being the game and the show. The game itself is a visual novel. It's based on the 3rd season of the show, I think. You pick and choose a character to prioritize during your gameplay. So you like at the start of a day or whatever, or at the start of the game, you pick like a character and then you focus on that story. Then you go and do it again for the next one, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Pretty standard for harem/dating visual novel things. Branching paths a little bit. They seem to be a bit simple, at least in what I could cover and what I'm allowed to talk about. So I didn't go into depth with that and cannot go into depth with it now. I played through a couple of the main heroes, or heroines, my mistake, but need to play more of them to unlock the rest of the story, I believe. Again, wasn't completely sure, but I'm fairly certain that was the direction they're going, because I don't see any other direction to go with that. Overall, the writing was to be expected, not anything extreme, kind of cringy, normal for what this would be, so that's par for the course, I guess. The general idea is that the main characters make a wish or wishes to some dream lady, the Ren part of the Ren Dystopia title. You play through the sequences and essentially just go on a date that appeals to their desires, and that's kind of it. One person dreamt of taking over the world. One person dreamt of having more just intimacy or something. I don't know, there's stuff like that. And I don't know which parts are like past the first day, so I don't want to roll the dice, so I won't. Let me also get out of here and go to this in the background for some random screenshots that they'll be using and cycling through that don't involve the lowly characters, because not for me. And get that out of here. It had did I get everything right? Did I hit everything in that part? Okay, yeah, I hit all that stuff. We good. Past that, let's start to look at some of the PC settings. Controller suggested, obviously, which is weird because for a visual novel, I feel like this should be the perfect way to handle it. But from what I remember, this didn't even let me do much of anything in terms of interacting very well. Very awkward. Didn't love that. Yeah, keyboard and mouse, they work, but you can't use it to select things in like a hub map and stuff like that. You have to do it based off of like a grid. They basically just didn't bother to implement more normal UI for a mouse, I guess. You can't set escape as a bind, maybe as an I edit, maybe. It crashed as well for me. Skipping ahead, or skipping already seen text, it had crashed at, I think at numerous points it was doing it, or no, I think it was guaranteed to keep doing it at this one point early, which was very strange. Again, this is before the launch of the English version of the game and before the PC version of the game, I think. So that might be a big factor. Maybe it's been ironed out. And also, I was on an old laptop, my ThinkPad T490. So I guess maybe that could be the problem. Wouldn't be super shocking, but it felt strange that it was crashing at the same spot each time. So, a little odd, but it didn't break the game. I just basically didn't skip there, and it worked fine. So, you can work with it for sure. Just, I assume as you play further, there could be further issues like that. Hopefully not, though. All of this stuff, minus the crashing, is probably pretty normal for visual novels. I've only played 2 of them, but the 2 I did play had better mouse controls, for sure. Kind of sucks, but again, it's probably pretty normal and not too strange to have for something like this. So, it didn't blow my mind that was a thing. It just kind of sucked. In conclusion, standard VN by the look of it, lacking a little bit in the PC port, to be totally honest, but I guess it isn't the end of the world, especially if you're going to play like on a couch with a controller or whatever. Probably fine. It's okay. Not a big deal. Gameplay is purely VN. There's nothing to deviate from that. So if you're one that gets bored of a VN at times, or in short time, it might not be too great, but it's mostly fine. If you're okay with that, then perfect. Cool. Since I didn't get to play through the rest of the game, I can't be sure, but I think you might need to play all of the characters, even some you don't care about, in order to progress the story, which is probably pretty normal, but if you hate certain characters, that could kind of suck. Overall, the game was fine. Standard VN, so if you're into that and or into Data Live, then you're probably going to be cool with it. Feels weird to release it now, though, after so long, but I guess better late than never. And that was pretty much all I had ready to go for it. So, why don't I go ahead and... I shouldn't have closed that. Hopefully not get blasted by that again. So yeah, that was a quick look and a quick review and recap of my sessions for Data Live, or my sessions, I guess, and recording and review of Data Live, Ren Dystopia, the English PC launch of it. Totally fine if it's a VN, if you like VNs and you like the source material and or the show and whatnot, that's going to be up your alley. Lacking in PC stuff a little bit, but all in all, fine. And this was the end of the very strange and probably never going to be attempted again review of mine. Hopefully it wasn't too disjointed. I didn't bother to do like an edit of it or anything. I figured this was probably more natural, so that's what I did. Yeah, not too bad. Key was supplied again actually I may have forgotten to say this. Key was supplied for free through Keymailer for the game in question here. And yeah, it was interesting to try it, and it was a neat thing to do. If you like VNs and or data life, then yeah, this is probably for you. Wish it had better PC controls, but is what it is. At least it's in English. I still don't know why I couldn't show any gameplay of it for this review, but whatever. Until the next one.